just expand on your experience, especially you are an eminent professor in this field.
I was there as soon as that sequence was released in January 2020. We found the spike protein, which every single vaccine maker or designer chose to use as the vaccine. We showed that 80% of that spike protein had homologies to human epitopes, and therefore it was guaranteed to cause horrendous side effects if you used this. We particularly found complete homologies in a thing called platelet factor 4 and myelin, and that would mean that you have a high chance of getting clots.
A frontline health worker hospitalised with blood clots days after getting his Pfizer jab.
Strokes and everything from the platelet interference, Guillain-Barré.
He got the very rare Guillain-Barré syndrome a few weeks after his first dose of the COVID vaccine.
All sorts of neurological things, both of which have happened.
The damaging effect of the vaccine basically goes into every organ system potentially.
They cannot say they did not know, but something held it. And I know because Sir Richard Dearlove, it went through Five Eyes. So it went to the United States, it went to Canada, it went to Australia, and it went to New Zealand. That's why Trump decided it had come from the lab. You remember that famous thingy? I've seen evidence.
Have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have.
He said that 2 days after we sent our information, and we sent it to Fauci thinking that he was a collaborator. He was the enemy.
Dr. Anthony Fauci is shooting down theories that the coronavirus was man-made. He tells National Geographic everything about the stepwise evolution over time strongly indicates that this virus evolved in nature and then jumped species.
He muffled it. He killed it because it interfered with his global plan of rolling out very profitable but useless, dangerous vaccines.
You were going to have schools, universities, and colleges are going to say, you want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated.
The governments very foolishly gave indemnity to the vaccine makers like Pfizer and Moderna. But they gave indemnity for the product. They did not give indemnity for criminal behavior. They did not give indemnity for fraudulently withholding the phase 1 data, for only showing good data, which was, again, fabricated.
I mean, I was upset with CDC when I left because they stopped tracking people that were infected that were previously vaccinated.
Wait, why did they stop tracking it?
But I think there was a decision not to do anything that made the vaccine sound like it didn't work.
The regulators were incompetent or bribed, one way or the other.
I was shocked by this when I looked at it. The BMJ did an investigation about regulators around the world and what funding they get from pharma. In our country, they get 86% of their funding from pharma.
Of the 6 leading regulators, Australia has the highest proportion of budget from industry fees. The TGA does, 96%.
Regulators were clearly bribed on this. And again, people would say, oh, this is outrageous, ludicrous claims. No, it's not. Pfizer have paid out billions for presenting fraudulent data, withholding important negative data, bribing clinicians and bribing regulators.
Pfizer were fined £89.4 million.
Pay more than $140 million in damages.
And they'll pay a $1.3 billion penalty.
They carry on as if that's part of the cost of doing business. Now with the pandemic, I would say bribing all political people and people who fed in, because it's the only explanation for what's happened.